Hello, welcome back to my knitting podcast. My name is Tara. I'm coming to you from Upper Michigan, and I would like to talk about what I have finished today, what I've been working on, my works in progress, and I do have an acquisition as well today, so I hope you'll join me. Let's just jump right into it. My first finished and only finished product today is the campfire socks from the Crazy Sock Lady. So happy to be done with these. I absolutely love textured socks, but I am not a fan of knitting cables in the teeny tiny needles and yarn, so socks are more of an on-the-go project for me, so I really like to have just the plain vanilla socks on the go, just to pick up whenever I don't feel like thinking too much, or I want to pay attention to the show I'm watching, or do a little reading maybe. I like to have that in the round. So my next work in progress words today, I'm telling you, is my shift again. So I did bind off. I did the Italian bind off, the sewn Italian bind off with the 2 setup rows, which honestly I'm not really a big fan of doing the 2 setup rows. I think it looks just as nice to do the sewn bind off without those. So I'll probably just do that for the sleeves. And I've been working on a sleeve, and I'm about halfway through. I have short arms, so really if it comes to the bottom of the sweater, it probably is going to be good for me. But I thought that when I started the sleeve, I thought that I was doing a size 4, but I'm knitting size 5. And again, this is with Knit Picks Upcycled Alpaca, or Recycled Alpaca, and dyed in the wool. Spin cycle dyed in the wool. So yeah, this has actually been really fun to do the sleeves. I just split up what I had left of my spin cycle, my mixer color is what I'm calling it, and split it between the sleeves. So anyways, I wasn't sure if I was doing a rapid enough decrease in the sleeve, but I think it'll work out. I don't like to have the sleeves be too tight if I'm wearing a shirt underneath. I hate when it bunches up. So also, I didn't talk about what I'm wearing today again. I'm wearing the Eva cardigan by Petite Knit, and I knit this with Kelborn Woolen Scout, and I'm not sure the name of the colorway, but it's the navy color. It's like a beautiful heathered. It's got like some purple hues. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in there, but yeah, it's really pretty. Alright, my next work in progress is the socks I cast on for the Crazy Sock Lady's having her summer sock camp again this year. I think she took a little hiatus last year when she returned to the workforce, but so I'm knitting these on 9-inch circulars, size 1, 2.0 millimeters, 2 at a time, and gotten a little further on them. I did add a few more rounds. I decided on the 25 knit 2 purl 2 for the cuffs, and then just plain vanilla socks. And this is hand dyed yarn by Up North Yarns, and it's in their colorway Funkadelic. And I believe she has a storefront on Etsy, so she's local to me, the dyer. Alright. And then I think you have not seen these socks before, but I went ahead and cast on, maybe you have. I can't remember if I had them in the last podcast or not, but these are just some plain vanilla socks. I'm knitting these for my son. He's 18, so I'm going to put them aside for either his birthday or Christmas. His birthday is this fall. These are just knit out of some Woolbeline socks, and I believe the color is just number 21 on these. So I picked this yarn up at when I was on a trip to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it's in a little shop called Icon Fiber Arts in De Pere is where I got it. So I've never seen or heard of it before, but I like to at least pick up a skein of sock yarn when I'm traveling and go to different yarn stores. I usually tack that on. If I'm buying a sweater's quantity of something, I'll at the very least get a skein of sock yarn, most likely. I didn't work on my Autumn Alpine at all this week, so I decided to not show that since there's no progress from the last time I showed it. But I do have 2 new cast-ons, and one of those is contains my acquisition, so I'll show you that one last. But here is my other cast-on, and this is the Flower Child cardigan. I think that's what it's called. Let me just, yeah, Flower Child by Wool & Pine. And I am knitting this out of some vintage yarn that was gifted to me from my grandma. She sent it to me when she lived in Arizona, so she mailed it to me when she was going to move. So I have basically just completed these short rows and barely got started on the lace chart. This is a beautiful cardigan, but I'm knitting it out of Kitten Mohair yarn by Sandus Garn, and this is a vintage yarn. They don't make it anymore, but I have a sweater's quantity. It's a little bit itchy, but I'm hoping it's gonna, being a cardigan, I'll be able to wear it, and it's also not like close to the neck. I think that's what would bother me the most. So this is, yeah, it's 30% mohair, 20% wool, and 50% cortel, whatever that is. I don't think that's a fiber that's made anymore. I'm not sure, but yeah, Sandus Garn Kitten. It is nice and fuzzy. It has a little halo on it, so I think it's going to be a beautiful garment, and I hope that I'll be able to get a lot of use out of it. So that's exciting. I'm excited to work on the chart right now. It's just doing some increases, so I haven't gotten into the lace work or anything yet, but it's beautiful. I'll put a picture of the designers in the pattern up on the screen here for you if I haven't done so already. Okay, so my last cast on whip and acquisition, I visited my local yarn store, Moonspun Wool in Marquette, Michigan. Beautiful store. But I picked up a sweater's quantity of their in-house. It is 90-10 superwash merino and linen, and it's the colorway clay. She hand dyes it, I believe. It's beautiful. It is technically a fingering weight yarn, I guess, is what they would categorize it as, but being a single ply, and it has 400 yards per 100 grams, so I figured I probably could get a sport weight gauge out of it. So I am knitting the Floral Tea, and that is a free pattern by Hobby Yarns. And let me see if I can just bring up the pattern so I can tell you who the designer is, and I'll also put a picture of it up on the screen here for you. I know, I'm sure I have Ravelry open. I always have Ravelry open. And I will link my Ravelry below because I do have projects for everything that I'm working on. I didn't bring my baby knits this week to show you, but I just had completed 2 bonnets, so if I think of it, I will stick them on the screen too so you can see. They did not sell, so I still have them in-house. really need to get those added to an online shop. I'm kind of not sure where I want to go with that. So anyways, that's a story for a different thing. Are you guys readers or anything? Would you like me to discuss what books I'm reading? Sometimes I take a break from reading, but I usually have at least one book that I'm reading. I think I listen to audiobooks also, so but I like reading good old-fashioned paperbacks and all that stuff. So if you'd like me to talk about that, I can do that too. Like, I'm not a super steady reader sometimes, but sometimes like this past couple weeks, I've gone through like 3 or 4 books already, so not super fast, but just let me know if you're interested in that, and I'd be happy to discuss that a little bit. Oh, okay, oops, I'm in my... Do you guys use Ravelry to have your yarn stash so it's visible? I don't know, I haven't done that, but I feel like I have a pretty good handle of what I have in my stash as far as like sweaters quantities go. So let me know if you guys use that feature on Ravelry. I'd be interested to hear more about that. Let's see, projects here. Flora Lee top, and this is by Amanita Agata Makowitz. The Flora Lee top. Let's see if I have a... see if I have a photo. I'm just in my project page now, so I don't have any yet because I'm not that far on it. I can show you. It's a very interesting construction. It's a drop shoulder construction, but you cast on. You start on the back, casting on one side. And I think that goes from the middle of the back, and it is most of your sleeve. So I've completed the short rows on this one, and it's a wrap and turn, which I kind of wish that I would have substituted German short rows, because I think they're more invisible on the right side of the fabric. Then on this side, this is the side in the middle of the back, and I just did one row so far of there's a lace pattern that goes up the back, the middle of the back column, and then it separates in right at the top, and there's ties. It's so cute. Let's see. I promise I'm gonna show you if I haven't already put it up on the screen. I was looking for something that something summery, but like I said, here we don't have very much super warm weather. Where you'd want to wear knits. We have maybe, a handful of days in the summer that are super hot where you're going to put a tank top on anyways, and you're not going to, or a very light t-shirt, you're not going to want to wear anything knit. So I don't have a whole lot of use for short sleeve sweaters as it is, and I kind of was regretting I only bought 3 skeins, and I don't think I would have enough to knit long sleeves, but I'm kind of thinking I'm going to knit them as long as I can. If it's 3/4 or whatever, hopefully I can get that length out, depending on how the pattern is. Like I said, it might include, of course I didn't gauge swatch either, so also I've been thinking of, I did pick out some yarns to cast on another pair of socks now that I have one pair finished, so I'll probably do that this week. I'm going to do some stripy socks, so I've been looking up tutorials on how to do the jogless stripes, so that's super fun, but I'm going to do them in Green Bay Packers colors. I'm a huge Green Bay Packer fan. I was thinking about that, and I got some different green and yellow yarns I'm going to stripe together and make a pair of Packer socks for me, because I do have one pair that I knit last year, but I think I wear them a lot. I wear them for every game, so it'd be nice to have another pair to rotate in. my apologies if you're not a sports fan, but it's always fun to have socks that match your clothes. Or mismatch if you're into that. You do whatever you would like to do. I still haven't ordered my needle set yet, but I promise I've been looking. And I'm just so torn on what to order, but I think I have finally decided that I want to do the 3.5 inch shorty set to add to what I'm already using. But I have not decided if I want to do the Knit Pros because the cords are interchangeable that I already have, or if I want to try the Leicas because those look intriguing to me. I do have a pair of DPNs from them and I really like them in the driftwood color, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, I'd like to hear about what you're working on. Drop me a comment below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you for joining me again today.